guys, this is Minister with LifeModder.com, and I'm gonna work on my Astro van today and replace the encoder motor. This is the part number. I'd get a Dorman because that's what Chevy uses, and that's the stock one. And I've just heard that the aftermarket cheap, Chinese brand or whatever other brands, they wear out quicker. So if you can, I got this one on eBay, pretty good price, I think around 50 bucks. But from what I've heard is they usually go for a lot more. I got lucky, I think. But yeah, search around and find this model number and get this one. So the issues I've been having, right now it's summer, but during the winter time, my all-wheel drive light would come on and my all-wheel drive wouldn't work. And it would come on right when you turn the car on. It would click a few times and you'd see the all-wheel drive light come on, and it would mostly stay on all the time. For some odd reason, in the summertime, it doesn't seem to come on very often. I don't know if it has to do with moisture or something, but I've also seen that with oxygen sensors where it does the same, because I also had an issue with that, and it doesn't happen in the summer. But anyways, what I did, a typical scanner doesn't pull drivetrain codes. Like if you go to AutoZone, or it just depends on the scanner. But I didn't want to spend money on a super expensive scanner for $1,000 or so. So I ended up buying this Bluetooth one. It was only like $6 on eBay, and it works great. And basically what it comes down to, this is the reader, and then you use your phone and Bluetooth to it, and you can get apps that will become like $1,000 scanner through an app. And I was able to get this one called Car Scanner. Let me look at it real quick. I believe I got it for free. Yeah, it's just called Car Scanner. Sorry. So that app. Oops. That app, our Car Scanner, if you can see that. And it'll pull drivetrain codes and everything. So for $6 and a free app, it's like $1,000 scanner. So that was great. So I'm gonna try right now and see if I can pull that code and see what it does, and possibly see if that all-wheel drive code is still logged, or maybe it'll just pop up and say all-wheel drive. I haven't started it today, so we'll see. Alright guys, I'm gonna try starting it and see if we get any clicks or the all-wheel drive light, which pops up right over here. See what happens. See, this time I didn't get any clicks like I haven't been in the summer, but in the winter I totally do. I'm almost positive this is the problem, because the other thing I replaced was before this I replaced the speed sensor, which is also on the transfer case, and it actually fixed it for a little while, and then the issue started reoccurring. It didn't reoccur as often, and it took a while for it to start happening again, but it still happens. But I'm pretty positive this will fix it. This is usually this is a known problem, and it's very common. I will replace this. I may not be able to post a video of seeing if it worked for a while because it's just the beginning of summer, but I can almost guarantee if you're having issues with all-wheel drive, it's either this or your speed sensor, which they're both pretty easy to replace. I could probably do it in half hour. The speed sensor you can do in 10 minutes. And if you can get a good price, it's a lot cheaper than bring it to a shop to diagnose it and replace it themselves. And that's probably what they're gonna do anyways, unless, you know, you could have the other issue could be your transfer case is just needs to be rebuilt, or you need a new transfer case, and in that case you could look at the fluid and it would be dirty or have metal shavings in it, and also you can replace the fluid and try that first. But if you have clean fluid and your all-wheel drive goes in and out, or it's always out, and I would almost guarantee it's your encoder motor. So I'm going to show you how to replace that, but first I'm going to try and run a scan and see if I can bring up any codes for the all-wheel drive. So I'll show you how that's done. Okay guys, I paired my ODB. I'm on Android. You can see ODB2 is paired. So now that it's paired, I can open the app. Just car scanner. This is, you open the app and then you hit diagnostics. It says not connected. That means you got to connect first. Forgot to do that. And you wait for it to connect. Takes a minute, I think. It's been a while. Well, that doesn't want to turn my Wi-Fi off, so I get notifications. Come on, connect. Sometimes Bluetooth is really touchy. You gotta restart your phone, unplug the ODB connector, plug them back in, and then it'll work. Okay, third thing down, the guy says I ohmed out the encoder motor and it is bad. Really easy to replace after removing the front propeller shaft and lower shield. I just cleaned the gasket really well and reused it. It comes off so easy. I noticed a leak and I'll pull it and replace it. 3 easy bolts if it's done. Torque to 15 pounds. They say it's 111 bucks on Amazon. I paid 50. You can shop around and find a Dorman part. So yeah, so I'm pulling it. Basically that says I'm pulling an encoder motor code, which is C0310. So if you can pull that code, if you buy the same OBD2 reader, it's probably your encoder motor. So I'm going to show you how to replace that. It's only 3 bolts. I think you got to pull the front drive shaft off, which is like 4 bolts, just to get out of the way. It's not hard. I'd probably do this in like 30 minutes, but I'm going to show you how to do it. So I'll show you that next. Okay guys, I got the app open. That's my Elm ODB2 reader. I'm going to hit connect. You'll see that. It says to turn on the car, so I'm going to do that. And still no light, so while that loads, I didn't hear the clicking like I do in the winter. Oh, that's just my car trying to pair. Oh, no way. Said my... Oh, jeez. Another issue. Well, actually, no. Okay, here we go. So now you want to... See, now it's connected. You want to hit diagnostic codes. You want to hit read. And up here, I slide this all the way over and it'll read every code it can possibly read, including your drivetrain. Okay, I'm gonna hit read. Okay. It takes a little bit because it's reading every possible code it can. See, I get a fuel tank sensor light. My fuel tank sensor is broken, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but until my fuel pump goes, I'm not going to replace that. Oh, here we go. Oh no, or what's that? It's still reading, but a C0310 code came up. Not sure if that's the all-wheel drive. That it looks familiar though. I'm just gonna let it finish. Okay, let's see what this is. You can click on it and it'll tell you. Oops, I gotta turn my internet on. Oh, look at that one. Third one, it says that C0310 motor AB circuit open, service all-wheel drive light. So it is an all-wheel drive code. I'm gonna read and I'll tell you what I find. Okay, third thing down, the guy says I ohmed out the encoder motor and it is bad, really easy to replace after removing the front propeller shaft and lower shield. I just cleaned the gasket really well and reused it. It comes off so easy. I noticed a leak and I'll pull it and replace it. 3 easy bolts if it's done, torque to 15 pounds. They say it's 111 bucks on Amazon. I paid 50. You can shop around and find a Dorman part. So yeah, so I'm pulling it. Basically that says I'm pulling an encoder motor code, which is C0310. So if you can pull that code, if you buy the same OBD2 reader, it's probably your encoder motor. So I'm going to show you how to replace that. It's only 3 bolts. I think you got to pull the front drive shaft off, which is like 4 bolts, just to get out of the way. It's not hard. I'd probably do this in like 30 minutes, but I'm going to show you how to do it. So I'll show you that next. Okay guys, so that's your encoder motor right there. That's your transfer case. And then this is your drive shaft. So what you have to do to get that out, your drive shaft's in the way. So what I do is I pull those 4 bolts in the drive shaft, and then this will come down, and then you'll be able to pull the drive shaft out. Once this drive shaft pulls out, a little fluid might come out. I don't think much though. I have the car on a hill tilted back, so I think that should help with any coming out. But so you may want to do that as well. I pulled this before and some came out and flat, so but not a ton. So we'll start with that. So what you'll need for the drive shaft is a 10mm. I love these ratchet wrenches, so I'm gonna use that. Or you can use a socket wrench. Hopefully this is strong enough, otherwise I'll use a socket wrench, but they're pretty handy and bendable and easy to maneuver in weird spots, so that's what I'm gonna use. We'll start with that. It's probably gonna be hard to break these loose at first. But yeah, also the drive shaft may turn. Okay. Oh, okay, that one came. I had to hold the drive shaft a little bit so it wouldn't turn, but I think it locks in a certain spot. Okay, got the last bolt out, and this should pop off. Doesn't seem like it wants to. Wow. Last time I remember it coming right off, but let's see. Maybe I need a hammer. Let me go get a hammer and we'll get this off. Alright guys, I got a hammer. Gonna hit this shaft. It should come loose pretty easily. Weird things on. Okay guys, it was rusted on there a bit. I hammered it a bit, hit it pretty hard, and now it came off. So now I'll show you. So now I should be able to pull this out like so. If it wants to cooperate. Alright guys, I'm gonna try hammering this out like this. Oh, here it goes. Just use a piece of wood. I can't get anything else in there. You could probably use a pry bar, but this seems to work pretty good. I think it's about to fall off, so I'm gonna try pulling it so it doesn't just fall. Yep, there we go. So that can sit right there, and that's your encoder motor right there. So there's 3 bolts right here. So we're gonna pull those out. They almost look like 12 mil. Let's see. Oh, bigger than that. I was wrong. A lot bigger actually. I think it's about a 15. Yep. I think it's 15. Yep, 15 mil. I'll crank those out. Okay guys, finally got this one. There's a ton of Loctite on these bolts, so got that out. Now I should be able to pull it out. We'll see. Okay. Seems like it's coming. Man. Okay. So there's that. There's actually a clip back here. See it right there? Oops. Right there. I'm gonna pull that out and then it should come right out. So let me see if I can get to it. May need a flathead. Some of these are tricky. Okay, I know you can't see this, the cover's in the way, but I'm gonna pop the clip off. I'll kind of explain how I did it. I think it would help to just take this off. I'm gonna see if I can do without it, but if not, I'll take it off. So camera's falling all over. Okay guys, I was able to get the clip off without pulling this cover. I used 2 flatheads, and there's 2 clips that kind of hold on to the side. You push, what I did is on this side, I put a little small flathead under the little clip to hold it from grabbing. And then I pried the blue side clips off that don't actually clip, they're just like a holder. And then I pushed on that and it popped right off. So that's your encoder motor. That's where what shifts it, your all-wheel drive into all-wheel drive. And I believe what goes bad, it could be multiple things. Could be the gears that move this, or it could just be the computer and electrical board inside that shorts out and just no longer works anymore, and causing it not to move this and shift into all-wheel drive. Also, there's a gasket here, which I've heard you can just reuse. I'm gonna clean it up, maybe put a little more sealant on here, and then we'll put the new one in. I may also spray this down where the encoder motor goes in, just to clean it up also, just so we don't have any more issues. So I'm gonna grab that stuff, clean this off. I'll show you how to reinstall it. All right guys, I cleaned up this gasket plate, and then I also put a small bead. It's actually, it had orange seal on there, or gasket maker. So I put the same stuff on. This is actually a high temp one, the orange. I don't know if it needs high temp, but it should be okay. So I'm gonna start putting that back together. So how it goes is just like that. I don't want to get that in there. Don't want that in there. So I'm gonna clean that off. Just want a good seal around it so that way no moisture's getting in there. Because that could be possibly what causes the issues. I'm not positive, but okay, we got that in there. Everything's lined up. I'm gonna clean off the other side real quick with some spray, and then we'll go ahead and put this back together. Alright guys, I'm just gonna spray in here with some grease. Just kind of clean out the dirt. You don't want all that in there. Wipe it off a bit, maybe grease it a little more. So that way no dirt binds up in there and wears it out again. Okay, it's all greased up. Now we can start installing it. So how it is, it goes straight up and down like that. And there's a little shaft that comes out that goes into this groove. So you want to line that up. Okay, let's go ahead. See if I can do this. We'll plug in that electrical connector after. Gotta line it just right up. Okay, it seemed to pop out a little bit. Okay. Gasket's kind of falling out of place. I'm gonna make sure it stays. I think it really needs to be pushed in because I think this needs to be under that. Let's see. And you gotta make sure that shaft is lined up just perfect. You can't really see. Okay, looks like it's starting to go. Okay, seems like it's on there. It's pretty much flush. I just need to put the nuts back in. I'm gonna put some grease on them. I don't have any more Loctite. If you have some, maybe put some on so that way it doesn't come loose. I'm just gonna grease them up so they go in easier. There's still some old Loctite on here, so that may help. Make sure this. Yeah, that one's on there too. So now we're just gonna pop this connector in. It just slides in and it should just snap in. You can probably hear it once I do it. Yep, popped right on. And then now we need to put this drive shaft back in. Spray a little grease on there. Keep it lubricated nice. Don't have any grease with me, but if you have some, I'd definitely put some on there. So let me slide this back, and Make sure the spline up here is lined up. Don't force it. And then it should go right on if it's lined up. You may have to twist it a little bit. I don't know, it doesn't seem like it wants to go on as easy as I say. Oh, you just gotta wiggle a little bit there. Pops back on like that. That part's done. So now we're just gonna put the 4 10mm bolts up back on the front. And then we can clear the code. I'll clear the code. And once I clear the code, I'll keep it running for a minute. And then I'll try running the code again. And if it fixed it, that code shouldn't come back. So oh man, might have to move that drive shaft because the bolts aren't lined up. Okay guys, I was able to line this up. It was kind of a pain because you didn't know how to line it up. Well, you didn't want to have to pull this in and out multiple times, which it took me 4 times, because you have to hammer it out each time. It's not easy, and then hope you got it right. But what I noticed is this drive shaft compresses, so once you have it like halfway on, you can pull the drive shaft in this way and compress it. That way you can see if those bolts line up. Now I got it, so I'm gonna put the bolts in and should be good to go after that. Also gonna spray these nuts with some grease just to get the dirt off them. Unfortunately, I sold my house and don't have a garage to work in right now till I buy a new house. Living in the camp life, which is great in the summer. That is so great in the winter, but saves you some money in these weird times. Okay, got them all greased up. 10mm. So I'm gonna finger start all of them. So basically all I really used this job was 10mm here and then 15mm for the replacing the actuator, or I mean encoder motor. That's what it is. Alright, that was it. Alright guys, that's how you install that encoder motor. I'm gonna go clean up, put stuff away, wash my hands off, and then we'll clear the code and we'll run it a few times, leave it run, and see if that fixes the problem. Alright. Okay guys, I'm all cleaned up now. So now I'm gonna clear the codes. I'm all connected. So I hit clear, I slide it all the way over so it clears everything. hit OK. It's gonna take a minute. I also heard a click during this. I wonder if that had anything to do with clearing the code for the all-wheel drive, because you always hear clickings when it's not working. Okay, it says 100%. Okay, so now it's all clear. I'm gonna start it. See if we hear any noises or see anything. Oh, the all-wheel drive light came on, but it went off. But that's normal when you start your vehicle. It alarmed me at first, but I realized. I'm gonna turn it off one more time too. Just see. Okay. So no lights, which I didn't have them before, and it still read the code. So now I'm gonna read the codes again and see what happens. See if anything comes up. It's being weird, like it's not reading it. Let me try again, because I turned it off and back on. Sometimes you gotta reconnect. Oh no, there it goes. I still get that fuel tank sensor code, but that's gonna always be there till I fix that. But I don't plan on it, because most of the time while you're driving it works. It's just when you're idling it doesn't. So I just keep track of my miles. Okay guys, sure enough, no more all-wheel drive code. Hooray! So I'm pretty happy, because now this thing should work once wintertime comes by. So the issue was tied to the encoder motor. So I'm just going to give you an overview of what I did. So what I did is I had, for one, I had the ELM 327 Bluetooth ODB2 reader. That's only like $5 to $10 on eBay or Amazon. I used that, and then I used the car scanner app, car scanner on Android. I don't know if they make it for iPhone, but this one will read all your drivetrain issues and everything. It's like compares to like $1,000 ODB2 reader. So it's huge, and it saves you a ton of money. And then, so what I did to fix this, as an overview, is pulled those bolts out to pull the drive shaft off. Pulled that drive shaft out. You see that new encoder motor? We took those 3 bolts out. It took a 10mm for the front of the drive shaft, hammered it out with a piece of wood, and then a 15mm for the encoder motor. Swapped it out, cleaned it off, put some new gasket seal on there, and cleared the codes, and it's good to go. So I don't know what it took me. I didn't time myself, but I had a couple issues that you saw in the video where I had to mess with the drive shaft because I didn't line it up, and it took me like 4 times. So it probably took me a little longer than it should, but if you did it the right way, probably take you a half hour. It took me probably 45 minutes. So anyways, I just want to say, guys, thanks for watching my video. Please subscribe if you can. It really helps my video, and it helps me to be able to produce more videos for you. So if you can do that, I'd really appreciate it. If you have any questions about this or any other videos, feel free to comment or private message, or just getting a hold of me through my website or however, and I'd be glad to answer questions. And if you have any other suggestions for parts of the Astro van you want me to show you how to fix, or mods to them, how I lifted it, or anything, or even other life mods about dirt biking, I like everything, or electronics, just let me know, I can try and make a video to help you guys. So yeah, please subscribe and keep tuning in for more life mods and on my YouTube channel and LifeModder.com. Thanks, guys.